Hi, my name is Dr. Jenifer Goldman, and I'm a licensed clinical psychologist in LA. I work primarily with adolescents, many of whom experience anxiety, and so I've spoken previously about more general anxiety management techniques. But I want to delve a little further into one of the techniques that I mentioned, which is challenging your thinking. And so the first thing to understand about challenging your thinking is that our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are all connected. So we can think about the same situation in different ways, which impacts our feelings, which impacts how we respond to the situation. So, for example, imagine that you just walked past a group of people and they suddenly burst out laughing. An automatic thought might be, they're laughing at me. I must have done something wrong. Do I look weird? Which can lead to feelings like sadness or anxiety or feeling self-conscious, which then can lead to behaviors like spiraling or withdrawing or otherwise acting out. And so when you notice yourself having automatic thoughts like this, it's important to question other possibilities or how likely it is that your negative thought actually reflects reality. So for example, is it possible that the people were just laughing because someone said something funny and you happened to be walking by at the same time and it had nothing to do with you? What would you say to a friend in a similar situation? So this type of thinking can apply to things that we worry about in the future as well. So for example, imagine that you're thinking about calling a friend, but then you find yourself having the thought, oh, that person probably doesn't want to hear from me anyway. I would just be bothersome. Consider what you know about the situation. So when you've called friends in the past, have they in any way indicated that speaking to you was a bother or that they didn't want to? What other evidence do you have for or against this thought? What's the worst thing that could happen, and what would you do if it did happen? Considering common thinking traps that people fall into can also be really helpful here. And so, for example, sometimes we use black and white thinking, or thinking that something has to be good or bad, or right or wrong, without seeing the shades of gray in between. Sometimes we may use a filter, where we notice only the negative aspects of ourselves or a situation and kind of filter out the positive parts. Sometimes we engage in mind reading, like with that friend, where you think you know exactly what they're thinking or feeling and respond as if that's fact. Being aware of these types of thinking traps can help us notice when we're engaging in thoughts that may not reflect reality. And by grounding yourself in more balanced, realistic thinking, you can mitigate the power of those anxious thoughts. Thank you for watching.